Fabrizio Romano confirms Chelsea's interest in Jordan Pickford. Reports circulated yesterday that Chelsea had been monitoring Everton goalkeeper Jordan Pickford as the possible target for the next keeper, and them reports have today been confirmed. Edouard Mendy has been reported to be contemplating leaving Chelsea in the coming months, and the club are looking to sign a keeper more comfortable with the ball at their feet to suit the system of Graham Potter. Pickford is not the only target, but he is certainly on the list for England. According to Fabrizio Romano, the reports of Chelsea having interest in Everton goalkeeper Jordan Pickford are indeed true. The club have been monitoring the situation of the keeper. Graham Potter wants a goalkeeper more comfortable on the ball to help Chelsea build from the back, and Pickford is very comfortable with the ball at his feet for Everton. There are other keepers on the list of course for Chelsea, with Robert Sanchez off Brighton being another player the club are monitoring. Both players are currently at the World Cup, and will be definitely watched and scouted by Chelsea as they look to make a move for a goalkeeper in the coming months. Edouard Mendy has spoke about staying at Chelsea, but the current belief is that the Senegal goalkeeper will leave the club either in January or at the end of next season. Jordan Pickford is definitely a target for Chelsea, and could be their next keeper. Chelsea maintain interest in RB Leipzig defender Josko Gvardiol. Josko Gvardiol was a player that Chelsea attempted to sign in the summer, but they were denied the opportunity by RB Leipzig, who turned down the €80 million bid from the Blues. Gvardiol has been tipped to leave the German club in the next few months, and Chelsea may be looking to make a deal happen in January as they look to bolster the defensive unit at the club. Chelsea are still interested, and are in the race. According to Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea remain in the race for RB Leipzig defender Josko Gvardiol, and have been interested in signing him since the summer when they had a bid rejected by the German club. Nothing is agreed yet between the clubs, and it is an open race at the moment with anything possible in terms of where the player could end up. Chelsea will not be alone in their pursuit of Gvardiol, with a number of clubs interested in signing the player alongside the Blues. Manchester City have heavy interest, and may move for him. It will be a race, and the player could go for around £90 million, with Chelsea having a bid worth €80 million plus add-ons in the summer for Gvardiol. A centre-back is a target for Chelsea as they look to sign a player to fill in the gap. Thiago Silva will inevitably leave when he retires, and Gvardiol could be the man. Inter Milan do not want to extend Romelu Lukaku's loan. Romelu Lukaku has had a tough return to Italy since he went back to Inter Milan on loan from Chelsea in the summer. Injuries have meant he has not been able to hit the ground running, and Inter Milan are reportedly worried by the striker's fitness. Muscle injuries have continued to rule the Belgian out, and it has led to Inter Milan questioning the point of extending the current loan agreement they have with Chelsea until next summer. The Italian club reportedly no longer want to extend the loan deal. According to Italian publication Calcio Mercato, Inter Milan are no longer interested in extending the loan deal of Chelsea striker Romelu Lukaku, after initially being interested in doing so. Lukaku has been injured for most of this season after returning to the club after leaving for Chelsea in June 2021, and has been plagued by a string of injuries. The injuries are a concern for Inter Milan. The Italian club were initially interested in extending the loan, with the possibility of a permanent move after the end of the second year. Injuries may have put a dent in that plan. Lukaku missed 12 games with a hamstring injury, and has now already missed 4 with a femur injury. The striker will have to prove his fitness between now and June in order for Inter Milan to change their mind. Chelsea unlikely to sign Christopher Inkunku in January. Chelsea are unlikely to sign Christopher Inkunku in January, despite the club trying to push through the move to happen in January the last couple of weeks in the negotiations. Inkunku was ruled out of the World Cup after being injured in France training in a tackle with Eduardo Camavinga. The French forward injured his outer knee ligament. A January move for Inkunku is now very unlikely to happen, and Chelsea may have to wait for next summer to get their man. According to Simon Phillips, a January transfer is now very unlikely for Chelsea in regards to Christopher Inkunku. The transfer is instead likely to happen next summer, but the deal could be finalised soon. Chelsea have been pushing for Inkunku in January, but the injury he suffered in France training will have put some doubt over that happening. The injury was worse than initially feared, and Chelsea will likely have signed him for January if it had not have happened. Inkunku will be a Chelsea player, but just not as soon as Chelsea and their fans may have wanted. The lack of Nkunku in January may open the door for another forward signing in January for Chelsea. The signing could be finalised soon, But Christopher Nkunku is unlikely to play for Chelsea until next summer. The deal could still be announced very soon. Chelsea midfielder Conor Gallagher opened up on making England's World Cup squad. Midfielder Conor Gallagher has experienced a lot of milestones this year in his return from a season on loan at Crystal Palace. The most recent of which was likely the most notable to date for the young Englishman, being included in Gareth Southgate's World Cup squad. The 22-year-old gave his thoughts on this development, detailing both his surprise and pleasure at such an illustrious achievement. "I didn't expect it, World Cup call-up. I don't know about percentages, I'm not great at maths. I didn't really expect it. Obviously, I was hoping there was a chance. I kept hoping, and when I got the text, I was so proud and honored." He continued on to again express his surprise in being called up, given his fluctuating minutes and Chelsea's struggles to begin the season. "I was a little bit surprised. I've not played consistent football with Chelsea, and as a team Chelsea have not played great this season. We've definitely got a lot to improve, and I am sure we will. But I am very grateful and honored. It remains to be seen how much the midfielder will see the field in Qatar, but his inclusion alone could give him a boost for the rest of the season." West Ham prepared to listen to offers for Chelsea target Declan Rice. Chelsea have their eyes set on a midfielder in January and next summer, and Declan Rice is a player that is very high up that list of players they wish to bring to the club. Rice is a former Chelsea academy player, and a return to the club he joined West Ham United from may be an interesting prospect for the England midfielder. West Ham are now reportedly set to listen to offers for their star man. West Ham United are reportedly ready to listen to offers for Chelsea target Declan Rice in the coming months, and may be prepared to allow their star man to leave the club. Midfield is a priority for Chelsea in the coming months, as they look to strengthen an area that has cost them at times this season. Declan Rice could be a player that could solve them problems. Rice has been at West Ham since July 2013, when he joined from Chelsea. A fee of around £120 million is expected to be the benchmark fee for the midfielder, which is a fee Chelsea will have to match if they want the player. The club will be expecting to decide between Rice and Jude Bellingham for the midfield role, and either player will make them a much better team straight off the bat. Declan Rice to Chelsea is a deal to keep an eye on.